What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be answering all your questions about Orange Theory Fitness. For those of you who don't know, I love Orange Theory. I even worked there for like 7 months of my life while I was in college, and I've been involved taking classes for a little over 2 years now. And I love Orange Theory. I have so many other videos on that I will link in the description below and at the end of this video. But without further ado, let's get started. So I had you guys send me your questions on Instagram. What do the workouts look like? I want to go, but I want to have a general idea first. So what you can expect in a workout is rowing, treadmills, and some sort of work on the floor, whether that's plyometric, dumbbells, or even just body weight type exercises. So all three of those will be incorporated. Every class is different, doesn't repeat, so you never really know exactly what's gonna happen, but it is a mixture of those three things. On the floor, you also can be using TRX straps, ab dollies, medicine balls, resistance bands, dumbbells obviously as well. 55 minutes of that you will be going hard, and then the last 5 minutes is like a little stretching cool down. And also when you show up, you are going to be walked through everything. So they're gonna take you over your base, push, all out speeds on the treadmill and how that all works. They're gonna show you how to properly row, correct form, things like that. And when you're on the floor, if you do have any questions with the exercises that are going on at that time, they will always be watching and coming around to help you make sure you're keeping good form and doing it correctly. Also, after your first class, they are going to try to get you to sign up for a membership or even just a package. You don't need to sign up, but also, I mean, why wouldn't you sign up? I mean, it's like literally the best workout ever. Okay, next question. What are the membership options? So there are 3 memberships, and the prices do vary. They fluctuate depending on studio to studio. If you're signing up when there's a deal going on, or if you're doing pre-sales, your membership price may not be these prices, but these are the prices that I knew to be true while I was working there and still to this day, and what I pay. So I pay $160 a month. That is for the Premier membership. You can go unlimitedly. If you have to cancel a class, you need to cancel it 8 hours in advance, and if you don't, you will get charged for $12. The next membership that they have is the Elite membership. This means you can go 8 times a month. Typically, people will split it up twice a week, or you can go however you want to go, you know, 3 1 week, 3 1 week, you know, 1 week, 1 week, whatever. And the situation with that is if you do not cancel 8 hours in advance, you will just forfeit your class and lose it. And that membership is $99 a month. The last membership is called the Basic membership. You can go 4 times a month, also broken up usually to 1 time a week. And that one is $59 a month. Also same again, if you cancel, you will forfeit a class. They do offer packs, which I do not know the prices off the top of my head, but it's like something, you can get like 10 classes for $300. If you guys are interested in doing Orange Theory, I definitely suggest going the membership route. Every time I looked at the packs and the prices, I was just like, it just wasn't like, I would never do that. I would never do that if I was you. I didn't calculate any math or anything on it, like if you're getting like how much each class costs, but I would never do a pack ever in my entire life. What is the cancellation policy? If you want to cancel your membership, when you do, you will get billed one more time and have an entire another month to use your membership. I'm not really sure why it's like this, but in my opinion, it kind of like keeps you sticking around a little bit longer to, you know, use up your membership just one more month and see if you really want to cancel it. Because if you do put your paperwork in and then you decide that you don't want to cancel, you can just pull it out and it's, yeah, no harm, no foul. Also, you can freeze your membership. You can freeze your membership for up to 2 months at a time, I believe. Or if you have an injury, you can have a doctor's note and freeze it until further notice, which I did personally. If you are freezing your account, instead of paying your monthly fee, you will get charged, I believe it's $15 a month as opposed to your $160 or $100 or $60. If you're pairing OTF with a healthy diet, will you see results by doing the Elite 8 in the first month? Definitely diet is everything in general, guys. If you want to be losing weight, disclaimer, I'm not a nutritionist. If you guys want to be seeing your best results from Orange Theory, I recommend doing the Premier membership and just going honestly 4 to 5 times a week. If you are doing the 4 times a month or the 8 times a month, you can see results if you do pair it with a healthy diet, but your diet has to be a little bit more strict and healthier, in my opinion, if you're doing the 8 times a month or the 4 times a month, as opposed to if you were taking class unlimitedly 4, 5, 6 times a week. I feel like your diet could be a little bit more flexible, and I have always found that I have more room to, you know, maybe have a drink or a few, or, you know, eat something that's a treat meal. You know, when I'm doing Orange Theory 5-6 times a week, that's when I'm seeing my best results. And I will always recommend to anyone, you will see your best results if you are an unlimited member, in my opinion. Now, obviously, if you are going to the gym or doing at-home workouts to supplement your 8 times a month or 4 times a month at Orange Theory, that's awesome too, and that'll definitely work very similarly to if you were an unlimited member. So you don't necessarily need to be an unlimited Orange Theory member to be seeing changes, but obviously with any weight loss goals, you need to be in a caloric deficit. My heart rate is high all the time, even during walking recoveries. Any tips on lowering it? Definitely make sure that you have the correct age, height, and weight in the system, for sure. I have also had trouble with lowering my heart rate even during walking recoveries. In some classes, I was also not taking Orange Theory as consistently as I was in the past, things like that. So it depends on how many times you're taking class. If you're taking class once or twice a week, and you're not doing anything else other than that, your heart rate will always, you know, it's gonna spike because you're not really building much of that endurance as if you were getting your heart rate up like crazy, you know, 4 or 5 times a week, then it would adjust more to that. Do you feel like you gained muscle or became toned from Orange Theory? Yes, I've definitely gained muscle and become more toned. I feel like the amount of cardio that I do in that class, I run over 2 miles every single class. That's something that I would not do on my own. So that helps me definitely reduce my body fat, especially in my stomach area and in my face. And then as far as gaining strength, my arms are always way stronger than they can ever be when I am actively and consistently doing Orange Theory, because once again, arms is definitely a thing that I don't love to do on my own, and Orange Theory has actually gotten me stronger in my arms to the point where I've been easing into liking doing arms on my own, which is great. Can you still do Orange Theory if you have injuries? Yes and no. It's all personal preference. So if you have injuries, you can go to class and you can modify things if that's what you want to do. For me, when I got injured, I actually froze my account and I had a doctor's note, and I did my physical therapy and I just did lifting in the gym because I wanted to be in control of my workouts. I don't like modifying. I don't like not going my hardest in a class setting like that. So I definitely think it's personal preference, but if you are injured, you can go. The coaches will modify things for you. It's totally fine and normal. Will someone judge me for not being in shape? I don't think so. I've never seen anything like that. I don't even think anyone's paying attention to one another. It's kind of like a dark room with fluorescent orange lights and the music's loud and you're kind of just focused on what you're doing. I don't really pay attention to anyone else and I don't think they're paying attention to me. So there's, you know, wide varieties of ages and fitness abilities in all the classes that I'm sure everyone will fit in. What are splat points? Splat points are the total number of minutes that you spend in the orange or red zone combined. And you want to get 12 splat points. That's the theory behind Orange Theory. That means you spent 12 minutes or more using 84% of your max heart rate and continue to burn calories post-workout. How fast do you see results? I think you can see results as fast as 3.5 to 4 weeks if you are going to class 4, 5, 6 times a week. How can OTF help me? Well, Orange Theory can help you because you will be able to learn a wide variety of exercises and movements that you didn't even know before, or maybe you weren't comfortable trying to execute it, or you didn't know what the proper form was. You will learn all these little skill sets that you can carry on with you for the rest of your life. It's gonna help you build that confidence to maybe move on from just taking classes and going into the gym or running outside and doing those 5Ks or those marathons that you wanna do. It's gonna help get you started. If you're lost and you don't know where to start, a place like Orange Theory where you can have a personal trainer and just a whole fitness plan that is already set up for you, you will have so much more knowledge than if you just walk into the gym and kind of just follow things on Instagram or buy a guide offline and try to work through it on your own. And then also obviously it can help you just get in better shape, make you healthier and fitter, lose some weight, and just feel mentally better, honestly. Next question, did you enjoy working there? Pros and cons. Yes, I enjoyed working there because I could go to class for free, which I took advantage of for sure. I was going like 4 or 5 times a week, so it was almost like I was like an unlimited recommended member without having to pay. So that was awesome. I also liked the environment of how upbeat it was. And of course, everyone that I worked with was fun and cool. Every studio is ran differently depending on who the owner is. And the one that I was at was pretty sales focused. So it was definitely a lot more of a bigger responsibility than I originally thought that I was getting myself into. I just thought, I didn't even know what I was thinking, like classic. I just went for it and I ended up loving the workouts so much that kind of definitely motivated me to keep working there. It was just super close to my apartment, things like that. But I definitely learned a lot coming from just babysitting and not really having super strict things to do at your job. I'm glad I did it because it definitely prepared me for the real world. Do you have to buy a heart rate monitor or do they lend you one? You do have to buy a heart rate monitor. First class that you take, you just borrow one for free, and then you can even take another class and maybe try out another style of a heart rate monitor if you're deciding which one you want to buy. But definitely after your second class, they're going to start charging you. It is $5 to rent the one that straps around your chest, and it is $10 to rent the one that straps onto your arm. I recommend buying the strap. It is the cheaper of the two. I believe it's $69. Sometimes they even do run specials. You know, it depends on the studio, honestly. Which heart rate monitor do you use? I use the one that straps around my chest, and I like that one. If you are bigger, bustier, I would recommend doing the one on your arm. That's what I've literally heard after working there for 8 months and all my observations and things like that. They both work the same. I just prefer it around my chest. Do you recommend starting on the rowers or the treadmill first? I recommend starting on the rower/floor because you can use all your fresh energy to lift heavier weights, because I always think the heavier the better. I don't have any certifications in nutrition or exercise, so I couldn't tell you the facts, but I have been advised to always start on the floor to lift heavier weights to see better results. If you really cannot stand running, then I recommend, starting on the treadmills. I don't really love the rowing, so that's why I always start on the floor on the rowers, because I want to get the rowing done with. And then, as far as I see it, I can always force myself to run. I also think that it helps my heart rate get up higher and a little bit easier maybe when I'm running if I had just done an entire 30-minute floor block. Do your roommates do Orange Theory or just you? Actually, I have one roommate that does do Orange Theory. Another one that is we're trying to get her into it, but it just really hasn't happened. And then, I don't know. The other two might give it a try, who knows. What types of classes are there? So there is strength, endurance, power. It could be just a strength day, just an endurance day, just a power day, or it could be strength and power, endurance, strength, power. It could be a mix of them. And basically what that means is on a power day, you'll see more sprints on the treadmill and more plyometric type of work on the floor, jumping around. And then as far as strength day goes, you'll see lower reps and the coaches will encourage you to lift heavier weights. And then you'll see inclines on the treadmill. And on an endurance day, you will have longer pushes, maybe a longer all out, long race. It's just longer endurance on the treadmill. So maybe you'll be at your push pace for 3 minutes and then go into a 1 minute all out. And then on the floor, you might actually just see a long block of 7 different exercises that are high reps, and you just repeat for the entire half of the class. There's no order in which these days are. You don't really know when these days are happening. I think you can look online. I never have. I really, truly never have. I just show up, and whatever day it is, we crush it. Alright guys, that concludes today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up because it really supports my channel. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another Fitty Freckles video again. Follow me on Instagram and I will see you in my next video.
My life be like, yeah. My life be like